Hi, my name is Anthony Waddle, and this is my plant room.
Plant people, welcome back to the channel. If we haven't met before, I am Sam from Plant Collector Melbourne, and this is Waddle. Waddle, what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is Waddle Around Earth, or if you're feeling extra into plants, Waddle Around Plants.
Or you could just follow both. But today we are going to be walking around Waddle's, I guess, plant room, showing us his favorite plants and a lot of the ones that has lots of joy and that you love. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Waddle, can you tell us a little bit about yourself for those of the people watching that don't know you?
So I'm originally from the States, and I've been collecting plants for basically all my life. They were never aroids. So I grew up in the Mojave Desert. You can't really grow aroids there without, really special conditions. But I would grow cactus. There was this really cool neighbor we had that grew plants for the Bellagio because they had gardens they would trade out every now and then, and had these amazing African plants.
Palm?
Yeah, the Madagascar palm. That was like probably the first plant that I coveted, I guess. And I would be there every weekend with my grandfather. And I also grew up in a little ranch, so I was able to grow a small orchard, and I had a garden every year, and just loved, the therapy that's involved with plants.
You had a green thumb even from when you were young.
Yeah, but with a green thumb, you end up killing a lot of plants.
100%. We both know that. We both have killed so many plants in our journey. Hey.
Yeah. But yeah, I came to Australia to study. So I'm a conservation biologist, ended up in Australia in this amazing climate here in Sydney. And I was like, okay, well, I can actually grow some really cool stuff. And that's when I started getting really into aroids. Before this, I had grown some aroids because I kept terrariums with frogs back home.
Totally, yeah.
And they would just come with the frogs. I didn't realize they were anything that anyone cared about. But the frog people would be sending like nodes of varicosum with the frogs.
Oh my god!
And this was back when that was something that no one had, and we would just be like, oh, we have this plant growing, and then people that knew about plants would be like, oh my god, you have that one. And
oh my gosh!
Yeah, it would just be some trash that came with the frogs.
Wow!
But we started growing them in the terrariums, and then when I got to Sydney, I saw something like Nige and his giant hydroponics varicosum.
Totally. And for those of you that don't know Nige and Alicia, Nige is urban green, and Leash is wild about plants.
Wild about plants, yeah. Just like seeing that, I was like, okay, I need to give this a go. And actually, it was Alicia that gave me my first. Yeah, she gave me a bunch of philodendrons, and those are the first ones I tried to grow. I couldn't grow it as big as them, but to start growing up poles, and then. Like it all happens to all of us. I think we end up in anthuriums and we just get stuck there.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So I have a lot of plants. Some of my favorites that I've had for a long time are here. I've moved a lot over the last 2 years, and they're just starting to bounce back in my new place. I think one of the ones that people might know me the most for are the Waddle NOIDs. This is the one that I make tons of hybrids with. It's probably like the one plant that if my house is burning down, I would come get because I couldn't replace it. So what's awesome about this one is when I do breeding with it, the red that it has, so you may not see it in the front, but if you look at its petioles, well, it stops me with the inflow, it has these really dark red petioles, and the emergent leaves on this are amazing. You can see one of its siblings here, and its emergent leaf. It's amazing. And whenever I make hybrids with these, the babies always carry through really deep red. So like I rate this plant really high for me anyway. Who else? So Sam is responsible for some of this.
I sure am.
When I was at the plant show, you sold me on some of these like pendant hanging type anthuriums, which I just now are starting to make new leaves. Also, let's see. Oh, here's I think it's talamanceae species. Oh, I can show you here. And it's now I'm very happy and starting to make new leaves.
That has gotten so big.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I remember when it like went up, I was like, I've never heard of that one. And this is back when, you know, any new plant I saw, I would just spend whatever amount of money on it.
And you're in my basket.
Yeah, and it's still here. Oh, here's a red crystallinum. This is like a new emerging favorite. I think like one of the things I value in my plants the most is anything where the emergent is really quite beautiful or they hold on to red, which I think is something that's like come up in the plant community a lot, is like having more red colors or different types of colors that you wouldn't necessarily see in Anthurium.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. This is a really important plant to me. This is a plant I got from Michael Pascal. This is his pap extras. What's awesome is he sent me the full history on this. This is a cross that was done by Dr. Croat as like a test cross between the two species. And then this is an offspring of papillilaminum. And it has that really nice red back, which I love this plant so much. I've made tons of hybrids with this one. It's been chopped up, so it's a bit small right now, but it's starting to bounce back really lovely. This is one of its babies here. So, like I said, I make lots of hybrids with it. This is one that, those two plants I've just shown you, the Waddle NOID and this pap extras, this is their baby.
It's so gorgeous.
And like I said, the red really comes through well when I cross it with this Waddle NOID and this pap dress.
And you were saying you were going to sell it, but I was like, no, don't do it.
I think it's almost ready. I'm trying to only like grow what I can handle, because people that know Anthuriums and start breeding them, you get hundreds of seeds, and you're, at least for me, I was very overly ambitious. Like, I'm going to grow every single one of these, and I'm going to try to save everyone that's struggling, and now I'm just like, into the bin.
Yeah.
Too many.
I mean, you've got so many bubbies.
This is a versicolor that is just now, I think, sort of figuring out its care. I got this from Chris and Arden. Such a cute plant. I asked her about this ages ago because I was like stalking the hybrids that were popular in my home country, and circus peanuts.
Circus peanuts.
So nice.
Too good.
That's like the eventual goal with that one, is to try to make circus peanut. I'll get beat to it by everyone else that grows Anthuriums, but
you never know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they do tend to kill themselves.
Oh yeah, I've killed some, definitely.
Yeah, but it's sort of died and now it's coming back and it's holding onto leaves without going completely yellow, so maybe I've done something right.
I think so.
Yeah. What else? This is from Wynn. It's a very cute crystallinum dressleri. It's just started to size up. Very cute.
The shape.
Yeah.
Texture.
It was so inexpensive. People weren't buying it. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Are you crazy? What is it?
She said her round, let's see. I love that she does these. The round crystal dressleri.
Nice.
And yeah, I think it's super underrated. When it sizes up, it's going to be like spectacular. Like I was saying, my plants are the best. No, this is a really cool hybrid that Cheyenne gave me. She's trusted me with it, and I'm doing everything I can not to kill it. This is a Phoenix Queen, so
massive.
She did all the hard work on this one, so I can't take any credit. It's just now starting to maybe recover in my care.
Yeah.
So many Christmas plants in here. This is a black cherry. Come on, just such a classic plant.
Amen.
You just see the papers come so well, and then the dark mag forgetii just has these amazing deep velvet colors, and I think that's why these have like the best emergence and they became so popular. I think Chris has really a great eye for genetics and he's done such good work.
Absolutely.
JS, I have so many of their plants. This is a Black Sensation hybrid Crystal Lux. This one just has, again, the most amazing emergence. If the plant has a bad emergent, I'm not interested.
We're all about that color.
Because it's like, that's why we like the foliage Anthuriums. Yeah, they have a nice like final leaf, but it's like almost like every leaf is a flower.
Amen.
You don't have to wait for one time a year like every leaf.
Exactly.
Well, some of the plants only give you one leaf a year though. This is umbricola. This is from Chris. Freaking love this plant. Mini Vichii it's flowering like crazy here. I have pollinated these, so hopefully they will give me something cool. There's another one somewhere. Here it is. Classic dark forgetii. Yeah, I finally could afford one.
Yeah, do you remember how much they were back in the day?
I remember one going for like $5,000.
Yeah, same.
And like I was thinking like, maybe that's not so much money. when I bought this, I think for like a couple $100, I was like, oh my God, that's so, like, where was that money coming from back then?
Genuinely, I think everyone was just like either loaded or just getting money from the government, and they just went nuts.
I was a student.
Yeah, you were a student back then.
And like a foreigner, so like no money from the government. I don't know. I just have, and then there was a time where I was like obsessed with marmoratum, so I have all these different clones of one. This one is from Ken. This one is from Robin. Ooh, very nice. And this is my all-time favorite. I got it actually up in Queensland when I went up with some friends, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the one from Chris and Arden. I remember walking into the booth and I'm like, I don't care how much it costs, I want that.
Give me that one.
And I've chopped it up a bunch and just waiting for it to bounce back. I want to cross this with rutilosum because that is such a beautiful hybrid. I have tons of pollen from this. It has flowered many times, but never been able to have it hold seed. This is one of my own hybrids that's doing something. I don't know if someone can tell me what's going on.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm just giving it too much water, to be fair, but it's weird. This is hoffmannii cross panamense.
So cool.
Yeah. Like with these types of crosses I was doing with either Warrock or panamense, they would give me like really weird shaped seeds, and then like only one or two would actually grow.
Interesting.
But once they get past a certain stage, they actually grow quite well. This is a prop of the Robin version of marmoratum. This is a palenquense from Chris and Arden.
That's so cool. I've actually never seen this, or even have heard of it.
I think like this is something, after seeing it in person, I was just like really sold on it. Yeah, it's just like a velvety bird's nest. It's like, instead of being like purely just, there's like actual petioles to this. Yeah, love it.
What's the texture like?
It's leathery. Yeah. And
it kind of looks like rupicola.
Yeah. It's seen better days, but I think it was in my greenhouse in my last place, and I was growing it pretty tough. But it's starting to bounce back here.
Yeah, let's talk about the conditions in here, because people are probably wondering, like,
so
how you grow.
It's pretty dry. So because this is like a bedroom, we're in like the second floor of an apartment building, and this is a brick building. So like the temperatures are pretty stable throughout the day. It doesn't get overly hot. We don't have any climate control or anything. I don't run a humidifier. I don't want mold growing. So they grow in pretty low humidity, so I have to keep up with the watering. If like the watering is like, if it's slack, like they really struggle. So that's one way to like deal with the low humidity, is just like having tons of small watering, which I'm very busy, so I don't often do that. So you'll notice that like, some of them won't look great, but they're not dying. Which is all I can hope for.
I think they look stunning.
Yeah. I'm loving the warm weather too, because the plants are actually like just cranking out growth. Just absolutely amazing.
How did you go through winter actually?
I lost a lot of plants during winter. Actually, I was growing in a greenhouse. I was like, I'm not going to heat it. Whatever. Like, if they die, they die. And then they started to die, and I started to freak out.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want them to die.
Hold on, wait a second.
And then I had some in my house. So what I did in my last place, I took everything and put it in my room, which was like pretty full on. Think about all of this, and then a person's bedroom, like in a grown man's room with this many plants. Like, it's a bit like, I don't know, like people that we know would think it's totally normal, but I think bringing a stranger into the house or friends or whatever, it's a bit much.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
But I definitely was thinking that you had less, and so when I came here, I was like, oh wow, we've got so much to look at.
Yeah. I've actually started to like, not go off aeroids, but get interested in plants that I used to like that are non-aeroids and other stuff like these.
Such as?
These tassel ferns.
I love tassels too.
They are so easy to grow.
Someone told me that you're not supposed to touch tassel ferns. Is that true?
I touch them all the time, except for this one. This one seems to hate any amount of touching. But I think I've done zero like reading on them. And I just went to the person at the plant show and was like, how do I take care of these? And they said they don't like to be, no soggy feet.
Okay.
Warm water them in the morning.
Yeah.
So they have the day to dry out.
Dry
water
out.
them at night.
Ah.
And I water them whenever I just remember. It's almost like having like succulents.
Oh, cool.
But like, I don't know, if someone that grows tassel ferns might hear this and vomit. So
yeah, and they might be like, you're doing it wrong.
and then tell me.
Leave it down in the comments. Let us know.
I'm sure it's like a quick Google search away, and I could like be growing them quite better. But I've had them for
But they look great.
for months now, and they've been doing great.
Have you seen like the bluey ones?
Yeah,
They're so
good.
gorgeous. Oh my god.
So yeah, this is my my go-to plant for hybrids, and I just love it. I've never cut it, so this is one I've never made propagations of. I've recently selfed it, so I do have tons of little seedlings growing up on this, and they look amazing. So I have some F2s. I crossed this one with another one. I think it's this one. And I'm getting like some people that have been able to actually grow them out properly. They look so
Crazy.
Cool. Yeah, super excited about these ones because like I said, like you cross them with anything and it makes them sexy. Yeah.
Can confirm everything. And just look at the redness.
I wish this had a new leaf on it.
So good.
But yeah, this is what I put out in the middle of winter. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna keep growing. I can't grow claries anymore. I don't know. I just forgot how to, I guess. But this is a really, really nice one I love
I know,
because of
this
how
is so
veiny it
good.
is. This is a very veiny clary. I had a bunch of these, and I was going good with them, and then I don't know.
I mean, it's still alive. Oh, that leaf is gorgeous. Can you show that one?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
But it's pretty loose in the pot. I'm thinking there's probably some dodgy roots down there. But yeah, it keeps growing from the top, but I think every time it puts out aerial roots, they just go. But yeah, if anyone can help me with my clary
With some
lows.
claries?
Yeah, it's meant to be like the starter Anthurium, but
Right?
I'm struggling with them.
I feel like maybe it could be the mix, too dense. I find that I normally rot them.
Yeah, I like had them growing in airwood mix. I've just put it in the rocks in pond.
Yeah.
So actually I would prefer to grow all my plants in pond, which is like this like rocks. This one will have it.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
just, rocks. Similar to like gritty mix. I know lots of people are using gritty mix these days. I think it's mostly scoria, pumice, zeolite. And
And like all these pots.
all
as
these
well.
are lechuza pots too. So lechuza is the company that makes pond. And they have these amazing pots. I just think they're really well engineered. They have like self-watering indicators, they have these reservoirs. The only thing is when you first put a plant into pond in one of these pots, you have to water it through and then dump out the excess until it grows roots into the reservoir.
Oh, I didn't
Otherwise,
know.
it'll be way too dry.
Yeah, right.
So people are trying to transplant into it, and they're thinking, I'll just fill the reservoir up and leave it. The plant's going to dry out because the roots aren't in the reservoir yet.
Right.
So maybe a month of like watering through, and then you can start using the reservoir.
Gotcha.
This is actually a good one. This is a rugulosum.
I know.
Or no, corrugatum.
A corrugatum. As soon as
Yeah.
we walked in here, I was like, oh my god, so good.
I got this from Portraits of Plants.
Oh, Rio. I was about to
Yeah,
say.
Rio.
Yeah.
It's so nice. I asked him for this is the rude form. I think they're pretty hardy.
I would say not. I'm so surprised that you find like this super hardy.
It's never stopped growing since I've had it. He gave it to me in really great shape too. It was like a really well-rooted, well-started prop. But there's other forms of corrugatum that are floating around that seem impossible. So, yeah. But after that one, this is a Pat Extras from
Damn, it's so dark.
Chris. This is when he selfed his like famous one from JS. This is related. I think this one is one of the parents of this one. They have the red back, but like this one has this like really dark red back. But it's a Lux Pap Crystallinum crossed Pap Dress.
Right.
And this is one of 3 clones I had, and it's just insane. This plant, like for people that really like the super dark, super velvety.
Damn.
There is seed set on here. This is the first time I've been able to set seed on this one. I've made lots of babies with its sibling, which is up there. And this is crossed with Besse species.
Wow. That's got to come out freaking nice.
Yeah, this is the same one, but it's its sibling that I've made tons of babies with. It's in rough shape because I've just been making it crank out seeds for 3 years straight.
Yeah. Baby maker.
It's another Pat Dress from Chris. It's a very like a skinny clone. It's a very good one. decipiens, which I'm hoping will grow into this skylight and be massive. And then it's not looking beautiful, but this is a rotolanteae, a rotolanteum, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Now.
One of my faves.
Also from Rio.
Yeah.
He gave it to me as a little prop.
So huge, and like, look at that.
Yeah, buy plants from him because they always just, I don't know, they just remember they've been taken care of and they just keep growing. Yeah, what else? I mean, I have tons of my own hybrids that I've made. This is like just trays and trays of them. This is gonna be, I'll show you. Ah, here's a nice one. This is one that I call pink blush. So it's made with a silver blush, which is currently a stump, so I don't have a picture of it, crossed with my Waddle NOID. And they both have this really like cute overlapping lobes. I was just hoping to get more veins into the, like almost like recreating the red crystal. Now that they're all in Australia, it's kind of pointless, but I think this will be a really cute one.
Nah, that one's definitely really cute.
Nice emergence.
Yes.
So that Papdres and the Waddle NOID, they've made all of these.
So
These
gorgeous.
rounder ones.
They're gonna come out so good.
And there's some that have really cute shaped leaves. Oh, Cheyenne has grown one that looks so good. She grows them into like full-on flowering plants in like 1/10 the time that it takes me. But oh, this is from Miguel. This is a Heinz cross pap. I have a bunch of them. He sold some seeds, and I was able to grow a bunch out. Here's a Waddle NOID selfed.
Oh my gosh, that one looks so cool.
Yeah. They're just starting to pick up growing. But some of them, yeah, like have this almost like purpley new look to them. The addiction is real. Like I have so many more plants, but they're all like pretty tough shape. So another one of my own hybrids. This is a Papdres Waddle NOID again. I have this. I think this whole entire bin is those.
I can see all of the, what do you call it, all the stems, the petioles are like super red.
See, they all just carry the red through so well. That plant is just has the best genetics for red. Let's see, this one just has, it's like really slaty, kind of emergent, which is like its sibling.
And what's the media that you're using for those ones?
This is just like the standard aroid mix.
Yeah.
It's obviously happy, it's growing lots of roots, but I try everything, and I always am trying different things, and there's a bunch, everything's an experiment. So my day job is as a scientist. So like I'll be like, oh, I'll try this, I'll try that. And the thing is, I'll think I'll have found something that works, and then everything will rot one day, and I'm like, what's going on? So I think that's why we should be having controls and actually setting up proper experiments when we grow, but that's what makes it fun. And I think the mystery, like, why are my plants dying, or why are they doing good? It's like, you know.
It's part of the journey, part of the experimenting.
It's part of the journey. I think in that sense, it's more of an art than it is a science.
Yeah. Especially when you're doing hybrids, I feel.
Yeah. And yeah, some hybrids that you make are going to be really tough, and some are going to be really difficult to grow. Often it's the ones that are difficult to grow that are the really nice ones.
Amen.
I've just moved. I actually threw out most of my pollen, so I'm like rebuilding the pollen bank. There is a really nice one here. This is crazy. So this is a black cherry crossed with the Waddle NOID, and it just looks, it's just like the blackness and the darkness of the black cherry, and then it has the red veins coming through.
That's going to be wild.
And I'm just, this is the one I'm holding on to. I did redo the cross with a different black cherry.
Yeah.
And I do have seed set on the same exact cross again, but I only got one up like this. The rest are quite different.
That one surely is a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, so pretty. This is the one that people call Calculus. That's that Lux Pap Crystalline and Papdres crossed Miguel's Pap Extras.
I'm so surprised that you can remember.
And
they don't even, this one doesn't even have a tag and you remember.
Yeah, how I remember is I put moss on top of these. And then I ran out of tags, and I'm like, how am I going to keep these apart? Because they do look, at this stage, look like everything else. So I put moss on top to keep track. But yeah, this one's a good one. So I've kept a couple for myself, and you know, for every batch of seeds I try to grow out, I'm probably not the best at keeping all of them alive.
I mean, it still looks like you've got a lot of babies, Waddle.
This is a dressleri from Miguel. I bought it as a tiny little seedling, and Very, very awesome plant. Like, what I love about it is the leaves come out garnet colored. And it's just absolutely gone crazy in the pond mix. So I've never had it in any other type of mix. I got it as a tiny little seedling. You know how he would ship things in like really tiny boxes?
Tiny, yeah.
And like with just a bit of moss, and I got it out and I was like, oh my god,
Is
I'm
it gonna live?
kill this.
Yeah.
And I stuck it in, and then I forgot to like that's why I'm saying water this through. I forgot to water it through. I just filled up the reservoir.
Yeah.
And the next day it was just like this. And I'm like,
no,
and I remember messaging Chris like, I've already killed it. And we and him had read the like academic paper by Jay Vanini about like what to grow it in and stuff, and how like it needs special water and all this. I was just like, oh, that's great. I have all this knowledge, and then I just didn't do
any of it.
I just watered with regular water. It's looked better, but actually I'm quite happy with how it's growing right now. It's actually putting out 2 inflows.
Oh,
There's
cool.
one. There's another one there. Love rid of the leaf. This gave me a lot of seeds last year. So I'm probably not going to pollinate it with anything. I'm just going to let it get nice looking. I love this plant. It has made really excellent hybrids as well. I tried to self it once, and then this really big Lux cross thing. It's huge now. This came from Ken originally. It's just called Lux X. I'm not sure what the ingredients are. This was dumping pollen, and this is what actually ended up pollinating the inflow, because people grew them out, and it was clear that this was the other parent. It makes an amazing hybrid, like super big leaves, super dark. Yeah, like I think anything that's kind of matte-ish that you cross with dress looks really cool.
Amen.
This is also from Ken. This is when he sold those initial batches of variegated forgetii hybrids. Here's some older leaves. Let's just like walk off the yellow part. I can't get this to hold seed for the whole time. It looks like this one's already dying off, but the inflows are so cool. You look here, even you can see this is variegated.
That's so cool.
The inflow is variegated. The seeds are variegated.
So
It's
cool.
awesome. This is a Anthurium Variegated from Cape Oasis. I think it's very similar to Fusilobium. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like very similar or the same.
Yeah.
This is from Jasmine. This is a Pap Extras Pap X. She'd probably be very disappointed it's not bigger. I bought it from her ages ago. This is a Cape Oasis Crystallinum classic.
Classic.
Such a good plant. I think if you own Anthuriums, you have to have Cape Oasis crystal and, you know, a magnificum.
Cannot
that you
agree
can just
more.
ruin your life with the amount of seeds it produces.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so this is. I used to have a very big tent. Now everyone grows in tents, and now I have a tent.
Yeah, you've like downsized your tent.
Yeah. But growing in tents is so nice because you just like it creates amazing conditions and
Absolutely.
it does a lot of the work for you.
Amen.
But I'm a grown up now. I can't I can't have a room that's a giant tent because yeah, I could.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you totally could. It's definitely a choice.
Yeah. But it was a bit much when I was like single and dating.
Yeah.
And someone comes in this big black box.
Be like, what is that?
For plant people, it's like, oh yeah, let me in there. But other people are like, what's gonna happen to me?
Yeah, what is that?
This is my favorite hybrid I've ever made, so I'll show you that. I don't necessarily name any of my hybrids, not because I'm against it. I just never really think to. But this one is just
Oh my
one
god.
of my favorites.
It's so good.
So this is, you can probably tell what parent it is because I cross everything with it. This is the the Lux Pap Crystallinum cross Waddle NOID. So you saw one of the parents, and like you could tell the sinus is from mom. The shape of the leaf is from mom, but then it has this really dark,
Texturous.
look to it. And then you look at the petioles, and it's just next level.
Oh my god.
I love this plant. So I have cut this up for some friends. I've listed bits of it, but I haven't actually sold any of this particular plant. I grew out a handful of them,
Yeah.
which I have, and then I'm trying to recreate the cross, but this is the only one that looked like this. So I'm just like super keen to keep this clone going. I don't think I can improve, like
I know, that's pretty, it ticks all the boxes.
we always think, maybe someone will be like, oh, I'll cross it with Lux, but Maybe that's the only other thing I would do with it. I just want to grow it and make it big and pretty and have it be like a staple in the tent and maybe out here as well. So its companion here is a really nice clone of dressleri. This is a super dark one. Yep. It has just sprouted 2 growth tips, so maybe I'll end up having 2 of them at some point. Probably not supposed to do that, but yeah, this one's awesome. Super round, super dark. And then it has this like the geniculum.
Oh yes! I love that thing!
Like the fluffy ruffles. Yeah.
They call it like the knee-like structure of a plant.
Yeah, but this one's a weed. It's so hardy, so good.
It's hardy? Really?
Yeah, it grows fast. It was in moss for like a year, and then I was so scared to do anything different with it. Yeah. But stuck it straight into pond, and now it's growing like crazy.
Clarinervium, yeah.
Has it been renamed?
Oh, Pacifica? No.
Yeah, maybe. I don't keep track.
Yeah, same. When they change name, I'm like, oh, yes, true.
You know, I work in like conservation, and I work on species where they're always revising their names, and it's the same thing. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So your whole life, you work on one thing and you call it something, and then one day someone you don't know is like, no, it's not called that anymore.
It's actually not that.
You're like, oh, okay, well.
Got to rewire my brain then.
Yeah. This has been chopped up, so it's not in all its glory, but this is a blood moon, so the hoffmannii, the original hoffmannii, crossed with velvet shadow. I got this from Kai, I think, way back in the day. It was a seed. Chopped it up though, so it's not very pretty right now, but this leaf is still looking good.
Yeah, that leaf's gorgeous.
This is a cross that some people call calculus. Again, just growing some out in pond because it's much faster for me. This is a cool cross. This is a dressleri cross clary.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They've been very slow, so I've just popped these into pond to see if I can get them going faster. Yeah, I use the tent for things just kind of at a whim. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll do better in the tent.
Yeah, more experiments.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if it's going to do better, but I'll give it a go. What else? This is Crystallinum escuito. Grew from seed, seen better days. This one's doing great in here. This is a regulosum.
Oh yeah, that's doing so well.
Yeah.
And you're saying that its roots are like in the pole.
Its roots are going crazy. Yeah, I'm like, I'll try a pole. See what happens. What I like about it is like, say the roots in the soil rot, you have like them at a different medium as well. And I learned this from, well, I kind of confirmed it with Alicia.
Yeah.
So we're talking about warocks, and I was like, I do have a warock and it's doing fine, but like it's having it in a pole and then having it in a medium, you kind of are like double ensuring that it doesn't just die on you.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah. So just, I like trying to grow things in pools. So it seems to be taking to it. It's not growing up the pool, but it's growing roots up the pool. As good as I'll ever get.
I know exactly what that is. Everyone that has one would know.
I don't know how the people grow them so nice.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've had mine for like 3 years, and it still looks like that.
I think I like spent the like most money of anyone. And then
it still looks like this.
Yeah.
But the color's really cool.
It is. It's very nice. But then I look at like highs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how? How do you do it? This is a SA species. I think maybe that's just the color it is. But it's flowered for me a few times. It makes a very tiny inflow, the tiniest. But it did give me enough pollen to pollinate that plant we looked at. This was from Dee. She was so sweet to send this to me. It's funny because I'm really into the red, and I've never had a hoffmannii or blood moon.
Yeah, that.
So she found one for me, which is really sweet.
We love you, Dee.
This is a Peru species, whatever that is. It was very happy growing up the pole, and like I said, everything in the pot rotted, but the pole was doing okay.
Was that right?
Yep.
Saved.
So it hasn't died.
Saved.
This is this one here is a propagation of this one. So hopefully have more of those soon.
Oh, they look very different, don't they?
Yeah, if you look at the lower leaves, they actually have like more texture when they're younger.
Yeah, how interesting.
Yeah, like look at the texture there. There's lots of texture there. Then here it's more like, you can kind of see it, but it's not as good.
It's not as texturous as those two.
Yeah, so these are an original hybrid. I'm actually not sure what's in them. They were just in the COVID haze where I was just buying seeds from everybody. I'm thinking they're like a blood moon hybrid, maybe blood moon like crystal or something. They have some features that are similar. And I ended up with like about just over a dozen of them. Some of them that are round like this and some that are more like oval shaped. And I've kept all the round ones to breed to keep this like kind of round overlapping lobes in red. And so like, because I have some that have better red, I have some that have better shape, I have some that have better like veining. And I want to breed towards more of like a really, really round, a tiny bit more veins, but keeping the red.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's like the long-term kind of goal. So he has a unique individual, I have a unique individual, and crossing those would make an F2. So here's another one. See, it's just very different. They're siblings, but doesn't have the like massively overlapping lobes. Here's a new leaf on it too. So even the emergents are different colors. So this one's like more purpley.
It definitely gives me like the blood moon vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's.
Or even this one too.
Yep.
So when do you feel like you started getting into aroids? Because I feel like you were actually earlier on in the piece than other people that we've actually had tours with.
Yeah.
I feel like you were earlier.
So I moved to Australia in 2018, and I was in Townsville actually.
Yeah.
And I was like just starting to collect, like monsteras and stuff, none of the fancy
course.
stuff. And that was back when like Ansonii was really rare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's my plant that I need.
I need that.
But then I had to move back to the States for 7 months for part of my like degree, and I was there, and I had to like leave my plants with a friend. But when I came back, it had been tissue cultured, and I was like, yes, I can finally afford it. And then I was in Geelong, so that was like near Melbourne.
You were in Geelong?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I studied at the University of Melbourne.
Oh.
But I came here to do a short-term study in Sydney.
Yeah.
And got stuck here during COVID.
Stuck here.
Yeah. And then, I just didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
So the weather here is very nice.
It's beautiful. Better than Melbourne
Yeah.
for sure.
And-
Easier to grow aroids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think my first like velvet Anthurium was in a really like $100 for 5 JS plant pickers pack off
Yes,
eBay.
JS.
And it was actually, this is one of them here.
Yeah, I love it.
Crystallinum. Yeah. And from there, I think following Carrie and
Of course,
starting
Mellipop.
Yeah, Mellipop, and watching her plant sales, I eventually got a crystal hybrid from her, and then started just going from there, buying any seed I can find,
Yeah.
and growing plants, learning all the ins and outs of breeding, and you just, you meet people, you learn so much stuff, and it just becomes like a really great community too.
Amen.
So yeah, I think all of my friends that aren't people that I've met at the university are plant
People?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice because they'll like, I'll be talking to them and I have this whole other identity that's separate
So
from that.
separate.
Yeah.
But they think that it's like a whole different language when we talk.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think
yeah.
is so funny.
It's just like in science.
Yeah.
Because it's very niche. But yeah, it's just like knowing about the species, the history, the people that kept them, the people that are keeping their lineage history alive. It's just such a fantastic kind of use of time and therapy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
So why specifically Anthurium for you?
I just think they look the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that you can just give it a go, like between 2 Anthuriums and see if it works out.
Totally.
It's like playing matchmaker, and if it doesn't work out, it's not that big of a deal.
Amen. It's just a pollen and a flower. It's
Yeah,
fine.
just pollen in a flower. And during COVID, it was really nice because I do experiments for my job, and having the ability to kind of scratch that itch when I couldn't
Of course.
was awesome. And just learning new things, growing in different media, learning the care of different plants. I have some like cloud forest species here that are sometimes finicky, and like
Yeah.
ultimately figuring out like what works for them is so rewarding because like I've nailed it.
Finally,
Yeah.
you're doing something.
Yeah.
Also, maybe even touch on your career, what you do outside of plants as well.
Yeah, so I'm a conservation biologist. I work on endangered frogs that get impacted by this fungus that's come from the Korean Peninsula. And that's like the kind of toughest thing I have to deal with at my job, is that the challenge I work on is really big, but I love my job so much.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's something that like I get up in the morning and I'm just so excited to go to work and chat with people. And I'm working, I guess, permanently now in Australia, looking at endangered species here. And right now my work is on green and golden bell frogs, which are just this gorgeous species of tree frog that we find here in Sydney. And
Yeah.
it's a really rewarding job. I think it's a worthwhile career.
Yeah.
Good use of my time anyway. It's good. My job has also given me like lots of opportunities to find like intersections with like plants.
Totally.
Yeah, and like actually the research I'm doing now is really applicable to gardeners. So backyard gardeners, if they're interested in what I do, if you Google my name, there's all sorts of stuff about my research. But one of the really like relevant things for people here in Sydney is the chytrid, like the pathogen I study is here in Sydney, and it kills frogs every winter, especially green and golden bell frogs. And if people happen to live in the area where they're still persisting, they can do something about it. They can create habitat for them in their backyards, and they can create really cheap just like shelters out of a little garden greenhouse that you would grow like herbs in,
Cool.
and some masonry bricks. And this provides a type of climate that makes it so they can't get sick. So yeah, that's like kind of
you were showing me that. We should get the magazine. Hold on. No, I want to show them. Da 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 da. Do you want to explain what is going on here, Waddle?
This is the structure. This is so over the top, but so this is the structure. Just some masonry bricks. These are green and golden bell frogs. They're endangered, and we found out that if you just give them a bit of like rubbish to live in, and you put a greenhouse over the top, it gets hot. The frogs sit in it just like this. Their body temperatures increase, and then they are able to get rid of these infections that typically impact them in the cold temperatures.
Aren't they the cutest? And also, Waddle, we should introduce your son.
My son?
Your son.
All right, hold on.
Yeah. Get him. He's so cute. You guys are gonna die. Hi, baby.
Yeah. So my my hands are clean. So that's you have to have like really clean hands that are wet to handle frogs, or gloves. Gloves are the best thing.
Oh, hi, baby.
Sorry. All right, we'll just let him go.
You're all right.
This is Hamburger. He's a magnificent tree frog, and he's one of our education animals. But yeah, this is my son, me and my partner.
Oh my God, he feels wild on my neck. Oh my God, is he on frame?
Yeah.
Let's say hi. You want to say hi to everyone? Are you camera shy? I don't think he is.
He might jump at the camera.
That's okay. Oh, hi. That was so cool. Oh my God.
Yeah, oh, there he goes.
And he's
now
up
he's
in the
living in the
wilderness.
pines.
Is he okay?
I don't use any pesticides, so
it's okay? All right, cool. So that pretty much wraps up this week's video. Thank you guys so much for touring around Waddle's beautiful plant room. And also thank you so much to you for allowing me to do this, because I totally get that it's your home, privacy, respect, and so I'm really glad that you said yes, and that we got to show all these planty people your beautiful collection. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
You're the best. So let us chat in the comments. Let me know your favorite plant from today. Make sure to follow Waddle, so your Instagram please, if you will. What's your
Waddle Around Earth.
Perfect.
Yep.
So make sure to follow Waddle, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. I appreciate you.